Good morning. Thank you very, very much for the opportunity to be here today. Thank you so much to Kansas State University and all of the summit sponsors for putting this event together. Thank you to you, Undersecretary Wotecki, for your thoughtful and inspiring remarks. Thank you to the entire USDA team. This partnership has been amazing and critical to getting us here to today. Thank you to all of you for attending this first Pioneering Partnerships with NBAF Summit. KSU has done a terrific job of bringing everyone together today, and I hope you're as enthusiastic about the conversations and the ideas to follow over the next 2 days as I am. So we're here today to begin a conversation on how we can work together to make NBAF a success, becoming truly valuable for the nation, the world, and for you. Now, NBAF will be fundamentally different than anything that exists today, and it will be different in several ways. First and foremost, vision. From conception all the way through today and going forward into the future, NBAF has been envisioned as an interconnected part of both national security and the economic fabric of our country. The U.S. needs a strong, vibrant national laboratory to ensure the safety, security, and resilience of our animal agriculture. The lab's location makes it fundamentally different. The U.S. system of national labs was started during World War II when government's investment in massive scientific investments turned the tide on winning the war. As you know, several of these labs were secret sites working on the development of the atomic bomb. These labs were purposefully placed in remote locations. They were purposefully meant to be isolated and disconnected from their surrounding communities. I don't have to tell you, NBAF is the exact opposite. One of the lab's key features and strengths is its location here in the heart of the animal health corridor. Because of its location, NBAF will function as a connective tissue. It will enable better talent, superior training, and mission-critical innovations. It will have enhanced benefits to a broader agricultural system of producers, members of the animal health community, and other stakeholders. Thirdly, NBAF is fundamentally different because partnership has been the name of the game since day one. We would not be here today were it not for the deep and abiding partnerships of the state of Kansas, Kansas State University, and of course, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The level of financial and political capital invested over the past 9 years is nothing short of astounding. And in terms of teamwork, no other federal lab has had such an auspicious beginning. No other federal lab has had such a diverse and deep network of supporters before the doors have even opened. Lastly, NBAF will be fundamentally different because of you. Each and every one of you is critical to ensuring success. We cannot fully leverage the vision, the location, or the partnerships without NBAF meeting your needs. NBAF provides all of us a significant opportunity to collaborate with livestock producers, animal health industries, academia, state and local governments, all to increase technology transition, to reduce risk, and to find innovative ways to protect agriculture and animal health. Now, this vision for NBAF perfectly exemplifies the new strategic direction of the Department of Homeland Security's Science and Technology Directorate. Our new strategic plan was released several months ago and lays out 3 main objectives. One of them is to foster the development of a Homeland Security industrial base for research and development. Now, the reason the broader Homeland Security enterprise needs new ways of working with industry and doing business is predicated on several reasons. First and foremost, the nature of R&D has changed. Unlike in the days of the first national labs, when the government drove financial investment in national R&D, the private sector has outspent the federal government since the early 1980s, and today spends $3 for every dollar of federal money invested. As a corollary, the nature of innovation has changed. The federal R&D model was developed during the Cold War with this linear model of innovation, this Vannevar Bush model. You have an idea, you do the research, the development, and you commercialize. The challenge is what we're finding is that simply doesn't align with today's reality and the fast pace of innovation. That model doesn't align and fully include the new players that are coming onto the scene, such as the rise of the maker movement. Additionally, the pace of technology and of new threats has changed. It took 100 years for 80% of American households to have a telephone. It took less than a decade for the cell phone. And on the threat side, as Dr. Oteki very eloquently spoke to earlier, globalization, climate change, and deforestation are leading to increasing numbers of new diseases at rates never seen before that impact both human and animal health. As she dubbed it, it's truly a perfect storm. And one need only look at the multi-billion-dollar losses from the foot and mouth disease outbreak in the UK in the 1990s to the current issues with avian influenza to see the challenges that are in front of us with protecting animal health, trade, and food security. Lastly, the reason why we need a new approach is traditional government business processes can be challenging. Some would say cumbersome. This is especially so for small businesses and cutting-edge innovators. The timelines and seemingly Byzantine protocols of doing business with the government means that some of the best and brightest simply don't want to play. And I submit to you that the American people and the government lose because of that. Now, none of this is particularly new. That's not, defining a problem is something a lot of people do and do it very well. But very few actually work to do something about it. Under the direction of my boss, Undersecretary Reggie Brothers, S&T is looking to reinvent the way the federal government does R&D. Now, to do this, we're focused, as I noted, on creating a Homeland Security industrial base for research and development, much like the infrastructure that supports our colleagues in the Department of Defense. To do this, we're putting new tools in place to broaden our industry outreach and bring in partners beyond the traditional players. We're utilizing tools like prizes and challenges, funding accelerators and incubators, working with venture capital firms, and establishing consortia. All of these are working to provide fast ways to bring in new ideas and technologies. Now this week, Dr. Brothers is in Chicago speaking to startups and venture capital firms on just this topic. We've been all over the country on this: Boston, New Orleans, Austin, Texas, Silicon Valley, the Research Triangle in North Carolina, and many other hubs of innovation. We're there to gain insights into this new model, to really understand how innovation is happening in this country. And we're bringing all those lessons learned back, and we're going to apply them here for NBAF. Simply put, we are here with the intent to do things differently. This is not a soundbite, it's a commitment. Now, keeping our food supply safe is a priority, and it will take a group effort to make it a reality. And as much as NBAF exemplifies S&T's vision for this new model, we can't do it without you. Now, it's important to remember that the real power of NBAF isn't limited to the amazing science that will take place within the facility's walls. The real potential for NBAF lies in its ability to act as a magnet, as a creation, a nucleation point, so to speak, for a vibrant, interconnected ecosystem around the lab. This ecosystem will include federal, state, and local governments, academia, industry, international partners, and so many more. And this ecosystem will extend beyond here in Manhattan. It will go throughout the state, the animal health corridor, across the nation, and in our vision, even the world. Now, to keep pace with evolving threats and security challenges, we have no choice but to tap into the innovation engines in the world of venture capital and academia, and amongst the pockets of ideas and the clusters of regional capabilities upon which NBAF's success will lie. That is what brings us here today. This is the first gathering in what will be a series of summit engagements designed to bring together NBAF's most important players, partners, and customers to make the NBAF system that we all want and that we all need it to be. To do this will take the participation and partnership of that entire ecosystem, including both traditional and non-traditional performers. At its heart, as Dr. Oteki noted, it will be a true public-private partnership. Public-private partnerships are a hot topic in Washington these days. Many, many people are talking about it. Fewer are doing it. And the fact of the matter, even fewer are doing it well. Why is this? I think it's because there's no guidebook. There's no manual for how you bring together people and companies with varying goals, business models, and expectations, and forge them into a truly unified force. That is why we are here. I assure you, there are no plans already in place. We are not here to just check a box and say we talk to industry and the ag producers and that entire community. We are here today to start a process, to craft the outlines for a plan to create an ecosystem centered around NBAF. Now, fortunately, DHS and USDA do have some experience with successful public-private partnerships. Our recent adenovirus vector foot and mouth disease vaccine is the first success in a public-private partnership between DHS, USDA, and the biopharmaceutical industry. Let me unpack it for you a little bit and just highlight some of the players. This vaccine was a culmination of more than 10 years of joint efforts to defeat the FMD virus. And it succeeded as a result of scientific collaboration and teamwork, not only at the Plum Island Animal Disease Center, but also at staff at DHS and USDA and multiple private companies working throughout the contracting, regulatory, and intellectual property rights process. The approach for the vaccine was initially discovered by a USDA scientist in collaboration with an industry partner, a company called Genvec, based in Gaithersburg, Maryland. The advanced development of that vaccine was then managed by the DHS Science and Technology Plum Island Animal Disease Center Targeted Advanced Development Team. It's a mouthful. But what this team did is their work consisted of on-site safety and efficacy studies. And they did off-site licensure studies, clinical, and regulatory work. Genvec, then working with Benchmark Biolabs based in Lincoln, Nebraska, implemented the off-site vaccine licensure process, which included multiple safety studies, development of a new potency assay, and contributed to the discovery of a new adjuvant, and contributed the first ever field safety study in the US involving the vaccination of cattle against FMD in a normal production setting. Now, Marielle, the platinum sponsors of the summit and here with us today, has joined this partnership to further the commercial development as well as the development of additional serotypes of the vaccine. Creating more success stories like this one, that's our goal. That's why we're here. And this is where you come in. We are here to listen. We, all of us, want to understand your needs, your expectations, to rely on your expertise, and to rely on the power of discussion over these next few days and going forward to develop the connections that will be crucial to preserving the vitality of our animal agriculture and our nation's public health. Now, I submit to you that NBAF is the ideal cornerstone for this global animal health ecosystem. Data from 2014 noted that companies with a strategic location in the Kansas City Animal Health Corridor now represent 56% of total worldwide animal health, diagnostic, and pet food sales. 56% of the global share. This corridor stretches from here in Manhattan all the way to Columbia, Missouri, or as I was schooled last month at the groundbreaking, Missouri. It is home to more than 300 animal health companies. This is the largest concentration of animal health companies in the world. Together, we have all the ingredients right here for a truly transformative ecosystem. We at DHS, and with our partners at USDA and Kansas State, envision NBAF as a catalyst for strengthening existing partnerships, as well as the means by which we develop new partnerships with producer groups, the animal health industry, academia, and others, all working in concert to protect the public health and food supply. And you'll hear me say this a lot, public health and food supply. As Dr. Wotecki mentioned, these two are intimately and inextricably related. So how do we get there? So as a lab and a supporting ecosystem, NBAF will ultimately integrate a network of partners with capabilities, expertise, and services in a bio and agro-security innovation system. I'll say that again. Bio and agro-security innovation system, something that we've coined as BASIS, because after all, any good government talk simply must introduce a new acronym. With BASIS, we will envision NBAF as a way to jumpstart system-level and system-wide benefits and capabilities to achieve essential goals such as materially enhancing public-private cooperation and collaboration, making effective use of stakeholder knowledge and capabilities, working closely with the private industry to minimize risk and accelerate technologies and products into the marketplace, and enabling skilled training, talent development, and regional economic growth. Those are the benefits. That's what BASIS can do. That's what NBAF and this summit is about. We have been working with partners at K-State and elsewhere to develop this concept of BASIS, but we are only at the beginning. We want to know what you need to benefit from being a part of a bio-agro-security innovation system. We want to know what help you can provide to help establish benefits and capabilities on a system-wide and system level. We want to know what your hopes, your anxieties, your ideas are for how this laboratory and BASIS can help you and help the country. All of this is in line with our efforts to reinvent federal R&D and to nurture the development of a Homeland Security industrial base. This is part and parcel of how we're trying to foster a new way, a better way of doing business with industry. We intend to break down as many barriers as possible, to break through the boundaries that would prevent NBAF from becoming a regional, national, and global powerhouse for bio-agro-defense. When those walls are down, what are your expectations? What do you hope to see? Are there specific technologies that need to be in place? Are there intellectual property considerations we have not yet considered but need to start planning for? Are there things that are working at other national labs that you would like for us to implement here at NBAF? Similarly, are there things that we should avoid or things that we should change in the traditional national lab model? These are just a few of the questions we're working through, and we can't get to the right answers without your help. So forgive me, it's an agriculturally themed metaphor coming up, but I think it's apt. What we have here is a chicken and egg problem, and I know no poultry work at NBAF. Just the same though, bear with me. What we want to do is to create a new way of doing business. We want to put in place structures that help us all succeed, and we want to foster an animal health innovation ecosystem. And the lab doesn't open its doors for 7 years. Now, I'm sure you'd agree we'd all be foolish to not pose these questions till the ribbon cutting. But 1 month after the groundbreaking, we recognize that we all collectively may not be able to fully pose all the right questions, much less answer them. Nevertheless, we'll just keep the bad metaphors coming. This summit is not the cart in front of the horse. Rather, it's an attempt to make sure that we grow together. It's an attempt to make sure that we have the time to be thoughtful, inclusive, transparent, and creative. It's why we are here today for this summit. As I've said repeatedly, this is just the beginning, and it's really my great privilege and distinct pleasure today to talk to you about 3 efforts that DHS Science and Technology is unveiling to create an opportunity for all of us and many more to continue the dialogue. Earlier this year, DHS Science and Technology launched a national conversation on Homeland Security technology. The national conversation is centered on the Directorate's visionary goals and mission needs areas. It establishes a series of online and in-person discussions intended to provide a forum for everyone who has an interest or role in shaping the Homeland Security technologies of the future. Everyone includes all of you, our operational users, industry, academia, government, responders, even the general public. Throughout the year, we've been kicking off national conversations on a variety of key DHS mission areas: aviation security, critical infrastructure resilience, first responder technology needs. And starting today, we will continue this effort with a national conversation centered on agricultural security with NBAF as a central piece of the discussion. One of the things we want to understand with this new national conversation is your answer to this question. As a stakeholder concerned with bio-agro-security, how can NBAF best help you and your organization advance the DHS and USDA missions while also meeting your goals and serving your customers and clients? Your inputs will help shape the thinking and considerations that outline the use of NBAF and how we intend to operate the facility. They will also be a key piece of the foundation for how we build BASIS. In no uncertain terms, your feedback makes a huge difference. You can access the national conversation by visiting the DHS Science and Technology website at dhs.gov/science and technology. Now, if you haven't been to our website in a while, I strongly encourage you to check it out. We've given it a facelift, we've re-energized it, it's far more informative and kickier than it used to be. For those of you who are more social media savvy, check out our Twitter account. DHS S&T's Twitter account was recently named one of the top 5 best Twitter feeds in the country. And as of last week, we have a Facebook page, so please like us. We're trying to, again, cultivate more ways to get our message out there and to be accessible to you and everyone else. Now, our second opportunity that I have the privilege of talking about today is our ability to expand capabilities through the NBAF Transition Research Project. This is something called a Broad Agency Announcement, or a BAA. It's a funding tool commonly used in research and development to receive proposals from creative minds across the country and fund some of those. The NBAF Transition Research Project was released on May 29th by Dr. Michelle Colby, the Agro-defense Branch Chief, and our Chemical and Biological Defense Division. The goal of the BAA is to solicit and fund innovative research proposals to further efforts to combat new threats and eradicate existing threats by providing critical knowledge, to develop and test in the field new surveillance, screening, and diagnostic tools, and to explore novel approaches to vaccinations against emerging zoonotic and transboundary diseases. This BAA will help us develop a pipeline of research efforts for NBAF, and it's another way that we're trying to reach out and connect industry to our programs. The deadline to submit proposals is July 6th, and if you have any questions, Dr. Colby is here with us today, so I'm sure she'd be happy to talk to you. Lastly, and this is the one I'm most excited about, another initiative that we will be launching soon for NBAF is an NBAF prize competition coming this September. Now, this prize competition is one of those new tools in our toolbox I mentioned earlier. It's a way for engaging and rewarding ideas and innovation in the private sector and academia. For the policy wonks out there, this is derived from the America Competes Act, which encourages all federal agencies to utilize prizes to address challenges. Prize authority was delegated to S&T late last year, and this NBAF prize marks our second foray into the area. The upcoming NBAF prize will seek novel approaches to enhance innovation, training, and talent within an agriculture ecosystem supporting NBAF. I'll say that again. Enhance innovation, training, and talent within an agriculture ecosystem supporting NBAF. That's broad. It's purposefully broad in scope. Building an ecosystem with NBAF as a center of gravity is a complex and complicated endeavor. And to do this, we need to address a full spectrum of needs, from workforce development to novel models for public-private partnership to new research areas, a whole host of factors. DHS is committing $100,000 towards this competition, with an opportunity for the winners to apply for matching grants from Kansas State University. This is simply another way of which we're trying to bring new thinking and new ideas to the table as we work to develop a re-energized way of doing business with the federal government through NBAF. Again, the prize competition will be unveiled in September, and please see the DHS S&T website for details. So in conclusion, to close up, there are some key themes that you've heard from me today. This is different. This is just the beginning. We are here to listen, and very truly, we need your help. Simply put, this is not federal business as usual. Success requires all of you and all of us to come together. So at this summit and going forward, we are here to listen, to partner, and to ensure American agricultural security for generations to come. I'd like to thank you all again for joining us in this effort. And on behalf of the Department of Homeland Security, I hope that you'll take advantage of every opportunity to engage us and all of the partners from across the ecosystem. From DHS today, there are approximately 15 people here at the conference. Please seek them out. We all want to hear from you and partner. Together, I know we can build a modern laboratory facility and a worldwide ecosystem that protects animal health and also meets your needs.